In this video, we will discuss the recording level, or input level in Adobe Audition. You will see a recording level meter at the bottom. During recording, you have to hit a certain level or be in a certain range on this meter. Otherwise, it may become difficult or impossible to get good enough audio in post-processing. In the last lecture, we talked about 3 things about getting a high-quality recording. Those are microphone selection, talking from the right side of the microphone, and talking from the right distance. Please remember that if you are not talking from the right distance from the microphone, then this recording level means very little. You must make sure that you are talking at the correct distance from the microphone. That is the first thing that dictates your tone and recording quality. When you are talking from the right distance, you also have to make sure that you are hitting the correct level in the meter. In Adobe Audition, if you double-click inside this meter region, then you will see the green bar appear. That indicates your current level, and there are 2 important questions around this. First, what should be the proper level in this meter, and what happens if you do not hit the proper range in the meter? The proper or ideal range in the meter is from -18 to -6 dB. That means, while you're talking, your audio level should be between -18 and -6, not lower than -18 or higher than -6. This is the ideal range. If you can stay within this range, you can be sure you will get good audio through post-processing. What happens if you fail to be in this range sometimes? If you actually record above -3 in this meter, you will see that it becomes red. The red color in the level meter indicates that you are in the danger zone. The danger is actually distortion or clipping in the audio. If you notice, this recording meter's maximum value is 0. If you actually go beyond 0 dB, the audio data becomes distorted or clipped. Besides the distortion or clipping, there is also another issue. If you record close to 0, then there is little headroom for post-processing. Headroom is important for post-processing. Headroom means the difference between your peak level and 0. So if your audio peak hits -3 dB, then you have a headroom of 3. Let's say you are recording very close to 0 and, in some of your audio processing, you have done a 3 dB boost. What will happen is that your audio will actually be clipped at those points when you cross 0. However, there are some techniques to create some headroom for post-processing. For example, if you normalize to a certain, let's say, -3 dB, then this will create a headroom of 3 dB. If you normalize to -6 dB, then that will create a headroom of 6 dB. Depending on how your later processing is going, you can adjust those things, but that requires advanced level audio editing knowledge. This situation can become worse if you cross 0 dB during recording. It can introduce permanent distortion or clipping that cannot be corrected in post-production. If you can be in the range of -18 to -6 dB, you do not have to worry about those and do not need any advanced level fixing. There is another thing: if you are not in range, maybe your microphone position is not right, or maybe you are not talking from the proper distance. All these things can happen, or your gain is set poorly. Being in the range actually ensures you have a good recording setup and that you are most likely to get good enough audio in the final process data. So we discussed a bit of the downside of recording in the red region or recording too hot. What is the downside of recording below -18 always? If you are always recording below -18 dB, then maybe you are recording too far away, or you may be on the wrong side of the microphone, or the gain settings on your audio interface are wrong. All these things can happen. If you set that gain properly and if you're talking from the correct distance and your levels are set properly, then you should be in this range. Basically, being in this range indicates that your recording setup is okay, and you are most likely to get good data, and cause less hassle during post-processing. Then, if you are just following some routine process or using a simple preset, you can make the audio much better with a clear tone. If you fail to get in this range, then you will require advanced knowledge to get proper audio. If there are any other mistakes during recording, they may be irrecoverable, and you will have to record again. Before recording, you can double-click on this recording meter, and you can see your levels. During recording, you will also see the levels. During recording, it shows you the recording levels, and also in the waveform, some indication of the levels. On the right side of the waveform, you can see some numbers vertically. You can see which waveforms hit which levels from these numbers. It is important that you understand how to interpret these meters and their readings, because many of your editing decisions and processing configurations will depend on how well you can interpret them. If you are watching this video on YouTube, this lecture is part of my professional voiceover workflow in Adobe Audition, including third-party plugins. If you are aiming for professional quality audio in Adobe Audition for voiceover or your audiobook, then this is a course you can look into. I'll put this Patreon link in the description and pinned comment. Once you purchase, I will add you to the course area, and you will get access to all lectures.